Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to dive into an anime that I think a lot of people have been sleeping on, the Ossan Newbie Adventurer. Trust me, this isn't your typical fantasy anime about dungeons, dragons, and overpowered young protagonists. It's a well-crafted underdog story, full of heart, clever world building, and some of the best fight choreography we've seen this season. By the end of this video, I think you'll understand why this show deserves more attention. Let's get into it. The Ossan Newbie Adventurer takes place in a beautifully realized fantasy world, where adventuring is everything. In this world, adventurers, people who take on quests, fight monsters, and uncover treasure, are like celebrities. Most start young, when they're in their teens, full of energy and potential. But then there's Rick Gladiator, a 32-year-old former guild clerk who decided to take on a life that most people give up on by his age. Right off the bat, this sets up the core of the story. Rick is an outsider, an underdog in a world where he's written off just because he doesn't fit the mold of a typical adventurer. What makes this anime so unique is that it's not an isekai. Rick isn't some kid from another world gifted with cheat skills. He's from this world. He's worked behind the counter at an adventurer's guild for years, watching people come and go, learning the ins and outs of the profession from the sidelines. But Rick's dream of becoming an adventurer never died, even as he aged. In fact, it only grew stronger. So when he finally leaves his job to take on adventuring, you know it's not some spur-of-the-moment decision. This is something he's been building towards for years. Now here's the twist that makes Rick such an interesting protagonist. While most adventurers start at the bottom and work their way through tough, on-the-job experiences, Rick's been doing something else entirely. He's trained for 2 years with the Orichalcum Fist, the strongest adventurer party on the continent. These guys are legends, and Rick went through brutal, mind-numbing training under them. His physical strength and battle skills are on the same level of an S-rank adventurer, but when he walks into the guild for the first time, he's ranked at the very bottom, F rank. This sets up one of the best dynamics of the show. Everyone constantly underestimates Rick because of his age and his quiet demeanor. In a world obsessed with youth, Rick is seen as too old to be of any worth. But this anime thrives on flipping that perception on its head. What's beautiful here isn't just Rick's physical strength, it's his experience, wisdom, and relentless perseverance that makes him stand out. Across the first 12 episodes, the story does an incredible job balancing Rick's inner struggle with the external challenges he faces as a newbie adventurer. His journey isn't just about getting stronger, he's already strong, but about proving his worth in a world that constantly doubts him. And what makes it so satisfying is watching Rick go from being dismissed as just an old guy, becoming someone who outsmarts, outmaneuvers, and outpowers his enemies with grace and precision. The fight scenes are a standout feature of the Ossan Newbie Adventurer. Unlike many fantasy anime that rely on flashy, over-the-top moves, this show grounds its combat in strategy and technique. Rick's training with the Orichalcum Fist comes through in every fight. He doesn't just rely on brute force, he's a tactical fighter, using his wits and experience to overcome opponents who are often stronger or faster than him. Every hit he takes feels earned, and every victory is deeply satisfying. You can see that Rick isn't some invincible hero. He gets hurt, he struggles, but he always finds a way to win. And let's talk about the Orichalcum Fist, the legendary adventurer party that trained Rick. They don't appear in every episode, but when they do, it's clear why they're considered the strongest. Their dynamic with Rick is really interesting. They're not just mentors, they're part of the world's mythology, the standard that every other adventurer strives for. Rick is the quiet disciple who learned everything from these masters, and their influence over him is felt throughout the series. They're a constant reminder of the level Rick has reached, even if no one else in the guild knows it yet. One of the best moments in the series so far comes in episode 8, where we get a flashback to Rick's training with Orichalcum Fist. This episode gives us a glimpse into how grueling that period was. We see Rick get pushed to his absolute limits, and it's clear that this wasn't just physical training, it was mental and emotional too. This episode really helps the audience understand why Rick is so much more than just a powerful fighter. He's endured hardships that most people can't even imagine, and that's what drives him. But this show isn't all about action. The character dynamics are another reason the Ossan Newbie Adventurer stands out. Rick may be older, but he's got this quiet charisma that draws others to him. His relationships with young adventurers who often look up to him or challenge him out of sheer bravado are really remarkable. not out of arrogance, but because he genuinely wants to help others avoid the mistakes he's seen throughout his years working in the guild. There's a great balance of humor, heart, and tension throughout the series. Rick's interactions with the guild members are often lighthearted, but also full of smart moments that show his growth as a person. He's not just learning to be an adventurer, he's learning to connect with people on a deeper level. There's the relationships that ground the series and make it more than just a story about fights and quests. And then there's Kaiser Sapient, the looming antagonist. While we haven't seen too much of him yet, we know he's Rick's ultimate target. Kaiser represents everything Rick is preparing for. He's the shadow looming over the world's adventurers, a threat that even the mighty Orichalcum Fist respects. Every episode feels like it's building towards this inevitable confrontation between Rick and Kaiser, and the tension just keeps growing. You know that when these two finally face off, it's gonna be epic. Each episode builds Rick's story in a way that feels earned. He's not rushing towards greatness, he's taking it step by step, facing new challenges, helping others, and honing his skills. And that's what makes the Ossan Newbie Adventurer so compelling. It's not about instant gratification, but about growth and resilience. It's a refreshing change of pace in a genre that's often focused on fast-tracked, overpowered heroes. So, why is the Ossan Newbie Adventurer the underdog anime of the season? It's got everything: fantastic fight scenes, a compelling protagonist, and a story that's both action-packed and full of heart. Rick Gladiator isn't just an adventurer, he's a man on a mission, and every episode adds another layer to his journey. If you're not watching this anime yet, do yourself a favor and catch up. It's only going to get better from here. Before we wrap up, I want to give a huge shout out to all of you who have been supporting the channel. This is a brand new anime channel, and your love and support helps us keep creating content like this. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future anime reviews and breakdowns. Let's grow this community together. Until next time, keep adventuring.